Hello there, my name is Lukram and welcome to this hopefully short video on how this blueprint works. This is the Easy Walker blueprint that I just uploaded about a week ago into the Steam Workshop, but I hadn't had the time to make an explanation video on how to use it properly. So, to keep this as short as possible, let's get right into it, shall we? Alrighty, so this is the blueprint right here, and we can start with a quick demonstration on how it works. It has variable speed control, and it also has reverse and 2 walking modes. So we can show a little bit of the variable speed control right here. You can see it goes slowly, like being like a sneaky little fella, but we can move a little bit faster, and then we can crank it up to the max and start basically running. And if we slow down and start going in the other direction, we also have reverse. Reverse, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get going, but it's pretty much, yeah, it has reverse. And also has variable speed for the reverse, as you can see. There we go. Now that's more like it. Okay, now the two different walking modes are hold speed and slow down. The hold speed, you probably saw it already. If I turn it on, I just set it to a speed. So right now it's at 0.58 speed, and this is the speed, and it stays like that. I'm not pressing anything right now, and I can just push more speed or less speed and it will stay there. But if I press one again, it will slow down back to 0. And this is depending on your current speed. So if you have a lot of speed, it will slow down fast and then slow down for the very end. So yeah, and yeah, basically the closer you are to 0, the slower it will return to 0. And that allows you to do like a nice little slowdown from your running instead of just the classic stops and it starts to fall over. Okay, yeah. This video I'm gonna show you how to turn this into a plantigrade walker, because this is a digitigrade walker, because you can see the hip joint with the red one, the knee joint, the first blue one or green one, and the ankle joint is the second blue one or green one, but the foot kind of like still goes down and there's the hinge. Those are the finger joints, so to say. And yeah, if we want to do a plantigrade, it would not be walking like that, it would be walking with the ankle pretty much all the way to the ground. So first thing we gotta know is in here, this teal section, these are the input section. So this here just tells you what speed you're currently at. The accumulator is for the speed control and the Norgate is for another thing. So if you want to change the buttons from WNS to something else, just change it from the accumulator and the Norgate. Don't forget to change that. Then in here, this is the only thing you're gonna be changing, basically, is these settings right here. So the scale is gonna be how fast you change speeds. So if I set it to 2, it's gonna be changing speed twice as fast. So to reach maximum speed, I would need to hold the W half the amount of time I would normally. So yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory. And then maximum, minimum are the top speeds. So maximum is the top forward speed and minimum is the top backward speed. So if I say I could go like -2, and then if I start to go backwards, I can get to -2 and it will try to do the animation faster, but you can see not all speeds are suitable to different animations, and you probably need to start slow and then catch speed to really get it going. And I fell down the bridge. So let's get back here. And we can change that back to -1. Next thing we're gonna talk about is these gates right here. These ones, the pink ones, you don't need to worry about those. These are just to prime some of the systems that need a little bit of primage. What we're gonna talk about are these gates here. So these gates, they control the default resting position. This one controls this one, this hip joint. This one controls this hip joint, and this one is controlling the knees and the ankles. Okay, so we get that pose. For a plantigrade walker though, we want a little bit of a different pose. So first of all, we're just gonna reduce this because plantigrades don't typically have such a long foot. We're also gonna change this. I'm gonna flip it around. And we're gonna do a little nice smooth design like this. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for the moment. Okay, so next thing we gotta change is these ankle positions. We're gonna get rid of this one right here, and we want these. We want to push the knees a little bit forwards, and the foot is probably fine. So since this gate is no longer doing that, we're gonna need a different one because they're gonna have different values. So we're just gonna put another NOR gate connected to the knees. We're gonna do, let's say, 0.3. Oh, sorry, negative 0.3. Is that the correct direction? No, I think that's the wrong direction. So 0.3. And yeah, that is more like it. We can see already that nice shape. So now we're just gonna grab these hinges. These are not in the correct direction, so to say. So, well, yes, in the correct direction. We just gotta lower this. Now they are more planted on the ground. That is more like it. And we could probably push the knees, the ankles a little bit more. So let's do 0.3. And now we are properly planted on the ground. So yeah, that's how you modify the resting position, just by modifying those NOR gates on the bottom. Now that we can start walking, we can see that it's starting to try to walk and it's working, but it has a weird look at it because the legs aren't moving backwards, they're just moving forwards, kind of. So we want to change that. Now there's two ways to do that. We could change it here, or we could add a little bit extra. So yeah, it's time to move into the backpack section. And I know it looks kind of intimidating, but don't worry. The only things we're gonna be changing are these accumulators here. So this one, this one, this one, and these comparison gates. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, this one. Okay, so the most important one of this is the red one in the middle. This one controls the hips. That's why they are color coded to red. So we can see here a maximum and minimum, and what these are controlling is how far the servo can swing forwards and backwards. But since our little thing here is adding 0.3 and negative 0.3, it is lopsided. So it's gonna be pushing more towards the front and the back, and that is the reason why we see this movement where it barely goes backwards. We want to change that. So we could just make this bigger. We actually will just make it a little bit bigger. We're gonna do 0.5 and negative 0.5. But what that's gonna do is push it even further forwards and a little bit extra backwards. So what we need to do, I'm just gonna change it to 0.4 for the moment so we can see its effects. But what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna grab 2 arithmetic gates, and this is just to do the offset. We're gonna disconnect it from the joints, connect it to the arithmetic gates, and connect it to here, and connect it to here. And now what we're gonna do, we are basically gonna be canceling this thing like here. So we're gonna do here 0.3, because this one is resting 0.3. And for this one, since it's positive 0.3, we're gonna do negative 0.3. What that's gonna do, it's modify our resting position a little bit. So we're gonna have to adjust that. But now if you see, it's doing like a normal swing forwards. Let's see, we can do 0.2 and negative 0.2. And that is a lot better already. You could pretty much just leave it like this and it will pretty much work fine, but I'm gonna also teach you how to MLify other sections of the animation. But yeah, we're just gonna adjust it, so negative 0.4 and 0.4, and you can tell already this is a game of a lot of trial and error, but once you get it where you want, it's super gratifying. And yeah, that is a lot better for me. It has a really nice direction. So let's start modifying this a bit more. So we said we're gonna do here 0.5 and 0.5, and now we have to grab these ones and match it. So negative 0.5, because that was the minimum we set here, and for this one 0.5. And now we have those two. This red section would be working perfectly fine. So we can see that it is going forwards and backwards as it should, but now the green and blue parts are broken because they are dependent on the red one. So we need to adjust that now. Okay, so first, same as before, the accumulator is controlling how much it contracts and how much it extends. And then these ones are just, the comparison gates are controlling when it does what, depending on the red one. So let's see. Let's say I want we can do a little cheaty thing, and we can set this just temporary keybinds to see how much it is extending and contracting. So right now that is the max extension and that is the max contraction, and I don't like how far it extends. I want it to be less, so we're gonna do a bit less. We're gonna do 0.2 for example, and we're gonna do the same here, 0.2. And now the extension should be a lot less. Yeah. We still have that bend that I wanted to keep. And now the contraction, I feel like it could be a little bit more. So we're gonna be changing that to, let's say 0.4, for example. And now the contraction is a little bit more. I think it still could do a little bit more. So we're gonna do negative 0.5. And yeah, that is fine. Okay, now what we're gonna do is take a look at this comparison gates with the equal sign. You can change the mode, but it's better if you just leave it like this. The equal sign is just basically when it reaches the end. So these ones are driven by the red accumulator, just like the other ones. So if this one was equals and 0.4, we need to change it because Remember, we changed this to 0.5 and this one was the maximum. So we change it to 0.5. And this is basically when it reaches all the way to the back, it's gonna change the direction and start contracting. Same here. We had negative 0.4, so we change it to negative 0.5. Same, when it reaches the back, it will start contracting. As for this ones right here, this one is to start extending the leg. So we're gonna do, let's see, 0.5, 0.2, let's do negative 0.1. Let's see what that looks like. And here 0.1. Gonna take a look at that. So now you can see how it is behaving. When it reaches the end, it starts contracting the leg, and then when it passes the 0.10 or negative 0.10 range, it starts extending the leg. And I actually think that is pretty good. So we can just keep trying. Yeah, it could be a little bit better, so let's try delaying this a little bit more. So see 0.3, 0.3. Now it's extending the leg a little bit later. And yeah, it's just a little bit of patience, trial and error, trying out different things, feeling what is right, what is wrong. And yeah, we have a variable speed walking mech that is plantigrade. We modified it from the digitigrade form. And yeah, that is pretty much it. And if you're wondering about the reverse, it is already coded in, because this works in percentage basis and not in timings. So yeah, you just have to do the forwards and it will already have a backwards. It can be a bit rough, the backwards, but you have a backwards, which is great. And yeah, I think with that we have successfully edited the thing, and you have seen how to change all the different little gizmos on the thing. All the other gates you don't really have to worry about. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope you understood, and if you didn't understand, just let me know and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. And with that, I say goodbye.